the lamp, because here is the light that has come from Haridwar and it's going to light another lamp. So Professor Shauraja as well, please join us in lighting of the lamp. The topic today is, of course, values in education as well as excellence. The program is being organized by the Internal Quality Assurance Cell, which is looking for excellence, and also by the Center for Mindfulness and Well-Being. And now over to Gayatri Parivar to carry on with the function, maybe with the introductory film, and then we are waiting eagerly to listen. Yes, could the volunteers please arrange for some more chairs? It's unprecedented what happens. Yes, we'll move Kedar, will you move the chairs there so that we can avail?
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
I was really happy when I kept my first step in the same college from where I graduated in the year 2003. So it feels like home, and first of all, I would like to thank this great institution that has given me an opportunity to come back, and not to forget the great teachers that taught me in this college, which this college has given me a lot. So trust me, my dear friends, that when you pass out, when it would be your last day passing out from this institution, please have that feeling of giving back to the college which has given you so much. So I would not like to say much, but yes, I've got my baskets full when I left this college in 2003, and I've got my baskets too much full now. So yes, it feels warm, it feels great to be among the great students like you, and yes, the gurus of gurus, respected Sahuraja sir, respected Pednekar sir, respected Anjali ma'am, who taught me Jane Austen, Pride and Prejudice. Ranjshri ma'am is not there, but yes, all these gurus have given me so much. So thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to come here. And yes, to introduce the guest for today, Dr. Chinmay Pandya, Pro Vice Chancellor of Dev Sanskriti University, a university with a difference. Dr. Pandya underwent his early education under the guidance of Yugrishi Pandit Sri Ram Sharma Acharya, who founded the Shanti Kunj Ashram at Haridwar. After completing his schooling, Dr. Pandya studied medicine at Himalayan Institute. Later, he became a member of Royal College of Psychiatrists in UK, London. Dr. Pandya served as an Associate Specialist, Older People Services, West London, Mental Health Trust. He served for patients of dementia and Alzheimer, in which he is a specialist, and he worked at the Charing Cross Hospital, London for 10 years. But there was an inner call in the year 2010, and that's when he decided to call it a quit, not for anything else, but for his motherland, India. It is remarked that the Department of Ayush, Government of India, chose Dr. Pandya and his team to represent India at UNESCO. So recently, the August audience will be happy to know that yoga is included, and it obtains the status of cultural heritage at UNESCO with a scientific presentation given by Dr. Pandya and his team from India. He is a philosopher, psychiatrist, writer, doctor, professor, editor. God knows how many hats he dons in one day. And Trust me, students, there are students from 14 plus countries across the globe who come to DSVV only because they know that they can trust Dr. Chinmay Pandya. So this talks so much about this larger than life personality. Dr. Pandya was also appointed as the chairman of the world-renowned International Festival of Yoga, Culture and Spirituality by the Government of India in the year 2012. He's also he's a core committee member of the Indian Council for Cultural Relations. He recently delivered a lecture at several places at universities, but the prominent ones I would definitely like to make a special mention, which is on human excellence, where he addressed cadets at the Indian Military Academy, IMA 2014. He's also addressed a talk on inner engineering. This was a workshop for scientists at DRDO in the year 2013. To make a special mention about his emphasis and focus on research and interest in studying the cultures of different countries, under his leadership, Asia has got the first center for Baltic culture and studies at Dev Sanskriti University, India, which was inaugurated at DSVV under the able guidance of Dr. Chinmay Pandya, and he had a pivotal role in shaping it up. Now this center is going to promote teachings and studies of Latvian, Lithuanian, Estonian languages, as well as research in Baltic culture and traditions. Well, this was all, that was his formal introduction, but the best introduction that one can have about him is, as Dr. Pednekar sir has already said, that we would definitely go to this university. When you would go, you would see that when you go to meet him, the nameplate just says volunteer. I would like to stop the introduction here, and I request, with due respects, I invite Dr. Pandya to please come and share the words of wisdom.
Thank you very much, Shuchita. It feels absolute privilege and honor being introduced by Shuchita, who has got dual alumni status. She's an alumni of the Ruia College and also an alumni of Dev Sanskriti Vishwavidyalaya. And above all, I think she's a loving sister, so very kind to be introduced by Shuchita. Feels very privileged and honored. And I feel really actually delighted to stand among all of you. Before I would begin, I just wanted to say that one thing I would like to clarify, that it's not going to be any preaching session here. I am here to talk about the things that are of utmost relevance to all of us in the day-to-day lives, and this talk is actually circling around those things which are of absolute importance and pertinence to us, called human excellence. And I would like to start by greeting Professor Pednekar ji, who so kindly embraced us here. There could be no better gift than showing love, affection and care, and he embraced us with such a greatest affection. Really thankful to you, sir. Professor Sahu Raja ji, Dorian of the field and also gurus of all the gurus here, and was such a privilege and honor meeting him earlier. Professor Anjali ji, we started talking about Jane Austen, Pride and Prejudice, so wonderful actually meeting you here. And all the distinguished dignitaries here and all the students from different parts. Today, the talk that we have got is actually, I would not call it a presentation, I would call it a dialogue. And it started with a very interesting anecdote a long time ago called human excellence. And I would say that do not listen to it like a lecture. It's not meant to be a lecture. It's just a dialogue. Feel free to ask any question whenever you feel like. And also, this is actually based on the real life events of many things. There is nothing fabricated, nothing artificial in this presentation. It's what the life really is. And I would say 2006 and 2007, an incident that provoked especially I to think about it. There was a guy called, I wouldn't share the name, but he was 27-year-old, presented to us when I was working in the Chelsea and Westminster Hospital. He did his 2:1 honors from Cambridge University, very good, academically very sound, meticulous. His father used to be the richest man of the London. If you ever go to London, the third tallest building of the London called Gherkin Tower, it was owned by him. Very rich, financially no problem, academically no problem, handsome guy. Developed drug addiction. He had cocaine intoxication. So if anyone unfortunately develops cocaine intoxication, the problem that he developed medically is something called as the Lilliputian hallucinations. Comes from the Lilliput, and they start seeing the small people crawling all over their body. And he developed the steroid-induced diabetes by then. So he was using the insulin syringes to dig these imaginary people out of the body. The night I saw him, he had 27 holes in the body. You could practically see the bones. It was so severe and tragic. And somehow he developed a bond, a very kind sort of affectionate bond with me. And we, met few occasions, 5-6 times he came. And one day when he came, and I asked him that what is the issue really? What does he feel that he is lacking in the life? Got everything, academically very strong, economically no problem. And he said that, I think my life is, excuse my French, he said, my life is shit. And he said the life is actually, very tragic because my father is responsible for it. And I said, why? Why do you think so? He said, imagine, everyone else in their lives are working to receive to a podium in their lives. So you finish your education, then you are trying to reach to a decent job and employment, and then you are trying to reach to another podium. So you are working for your life, family, and it takes your 40 to 50 years of your life, and then you are able to reach to a decent position. He said, but for me, when I was 12, I received a helicopter in the gift from my father. 16, I got 3 Ferraris. 18, I became CEO of a company that had $1 billion in the account. So there was no other place to go up, only there. There was nothing that I could prove my worth. So I said, do not think that your father is responsible, but even if your father is responsible, then whose life it is? Someone has to take the accountability for it. That who is responsible for the life. And that was the last night, I saw him. 3 years later, he wrote a very affectionate, very heartwarming letter and greeting card from South Africa. And he said that day when we had this discussion, something pinched his heart. He said he left and to take a world tour abroad. He went to different places, came to India also. He went to one of the remotest part of India called Bastar. And that's where he went and he saw one farmer who hardly had anything. And he was working and he had 3 mouths to feed. There were children sitting. But he was very happy. So he asked his interpreter that asked him why he is so happy. He has got nothing. Why is he so happy? And this person, the farmer, said to him in return that who said that we have got nothing? He said, I have got family. And immediately he took the next flight back to England and he said, I hugged my father. First thing I did, I hugged my father. And we both cried for 4 hours. There was so much to share, hardly any words to, we could talk. And we both cried for 4 hours. And then he said, I could remember, I could feel, I could perceive that we could live this life with some beautiful understanding. And the last line he said, what could be the purpose of life? And that led me to think about this presentation because the Gurudev, the founder of the organization, he used to say a very beautiful thing, that there are 2 possibilities, that life that we have got probably 2 possibilities, that it was given to us as a default, that some chemical reaction had taken place and we are here, which is also true. But if that's the only reason for us to be here, then we should waste this opportunity. That if we are here completely for that reason, then another possibility is that we have got this life as a divine offering, some divine blessing. From scientific point of view, we are here as the peak of evolution. We are here and we have got like no other species have got. And from a very different position, we are here after going through different setting, and then this opportunity had been offered to us. So the idea of this presentation is that when you leave, we are not here to offer you any answers. We are here to offer you the questions. That when you leave the auditorium, you should recontemplate the busyness of this life that had taken us to different places. If we can pause that for a second and think about that, if this opportunity that's been given to us, how we could do justice to the possibility that's been given to us. And it would start, it's got very simple 3 segments to it. It starts from the illuminated beings, enlightened beings, the people who reach to a pinnacle of their personality and life. So how do they judge? What do they think about the possibility of the human life? And on that criteria, that eligibility parameter, how much we are faring, what are we able to do, and if we are not doing what we are supposed to do, then what should we do? So simple presentation, and that's where we would start. And I will start with quoting Swami Vivekananda. Sorry, this is hanging. Yeah. Nothing, no one actually could be a better person than to quote Swami Vivekananda himself. He said really remarkable things, but this one is in particular I really like. He said all the power in the universe is already ours. It is we who have put our hands before our eyes and cry that it is dark. All the things. We come here with all the possibilities. Divinity works on the principle of equal opportunity. Everyone is given the same opportunity. But if we draw the curtains, close the doors, सूरज उगा हुआ है, दरवाजा बंद कर दें, लाइट ऑफ कर दें, we turn our head from that direction and then claim that there was no sunrise. We cannot blame the sun for it. Everyone was given the same opportunity. I remember when Vivekananda said this thing, he also shared a story of the Vedanta. And the story was of a lioness. Lioness was pregnant. She was about to hunt and a hunter came and shot the lioness. पीछे से आया, शिकारी ने तीर चलाया and शेरनी died. And when she died, she gave birth to a cub of the lion. And this cub of the lion was out of compassion reared by the herd of the deers. तो जो हिरण थे उनने उसको पालना शुरू करा. And after a while he forgot that he was a lion. He started to believe that he was a deer too. So जैसे बाकी के deer करते, he used to do the same thing. And one day an adult lion came and adult lion roared. The moment he roared, all the deers started to run. They had an inherent fear, so they started to run. And this lion also started to run. So lion thought, why? Deers are running, that's fine. But why this lion is running? So he forgot about the deers and he got hold of the lion. He said, why are you running? He said, leave me alone, I am a deer. He said, no, you are not a deer, you are a lion. He said, no, I am a deer. So he took hold of him, took him to the water body. He said, look. And the moment he looked inside, जैसे ही उसने देखा कि I and this lion are the same, roar came back. And I think that's the idea. When illuminated beings, they come to this planet, one purpose is to accomplish the objective that's been given to them. But another is to remind us that we all have got that line inside. हम में से हर एक के अंदर वही विवेकानंद हैं. They came with the same 2 pairs of hands, 2 pairs of legs. वही exactly हमारे जैसा था. If they could live a life of contentment and absolute fulfillment, then no one is stopping us to live that life. Because the human beings have got this beauty that we have got a life of the possibilities. We are literally, the beauty that's been given to the human beings is that we have got a life of the possibilities. Both things are there. हम में से ही राम निकल करके आते हैं तो रावण निकल करके आते हैं, जरासंध निकल करके आते हैं तो बुद्ध निकल करके आते हैं. The great beings, they come from us, but the people actually who have forgotten the beauty of the human life, they also come from us. Both possibilities are there. There is a remarkable Jain story that comes, and the Jain story is of a master. He was dying. And he called his disciple. उसने अपने शिष्य को बुलाया. He said, I would like to share the message of my life with you. उसने कहा बताइए साहब. उसने कहा कि the thing is कि there are 2 dogs living inside me. 2 कुत्ते मेरे अंदर रह रहे हैं. One is asking for chaos, another is asking for contentment. Both are fighting among themselves, he said. लगातार एक दूसरे के साथ लड़ रहे, झगड़ रहे. He said, that dog wins to whom you feed. जिसको आप रोटी डालते हो वाला कुत्ता जीत जाता है. The possibility that we would like to turn into reality in our life becomes the destiny of our life. Because in reality, life is nothing except the journey from B to the D. B is birth, D is death. Neither the moment of the birth is in our hand, nor the moment of death is in our hand. But what is left in the middle is completely in our hand. जो बीच में छूट गया, see, that is the choices, and choices decide the course of the life. So we are here because we have to make the right choices in the life. We all have got this possibility. हमें लगता है कि साहब हम choice ले सकते हैं कि नहीं ले सकते हैं. Everyone is offered the right choices in their life, but we have to make the right decision at the right moment. I tell you, Sir Edmund Hillary, he failed 15 times before reaching to the Mount Everest the first time. Any one of you who have got interest in the mountaineering, I went to the second base camp. 6,888 meter. When you reach there, जब आप वहाँ पर जाते हो, you are permitted to go like 3 times. आपको 3 बार बिना ऑक्सीजन के you have to show yourself that you could go to that point. If you are able to do that, then only you are allowed to climb the Mount Everest. And you can only try that between 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. because 2 a.m. के बाद avalanche आना शुरू हो जाता है. It's not possible for you to go. So only at that time you could go. And he tried 15 times, failed. And that was the last night he could have tried, otherwise he had to wait for 3 more years. So he looked at the Mount Everest and he said, listen, you are a rock. You cannot grow anymore. You are a rock, you cannot grow anymore. as a human, I can grow. If I decide कि I want to actually go, आज मेरे दिमाग में आ जाए कि मुझे साहब चढ़ना है मनसा देवी के पहाड़ी, I can do that. And tomorrow if I would like to do that, कि I would like to go to Mount Everest, I can do that. The Chandagi Ram, the greatest, like the Pahalwan India had, he was at the deathbed. He had multiple drug-resistant tuberculosis, came back and became the biggest wrestler of India. So anyone, the moment we decide we would like to change the course of our life, we could do that, provided we are ready for that. और इसी को महर्षि अरविंद ने, he said very beautifully, he said everyone has in him something divine, something his own, a chance of perfection and strength in however small a sphere. हम में से हर एक के अंदर, we think that only selected privileged individuals have got that possibility that they could live a life of divinity. No, all of us actually carry the exactly same possibility, only we have to listen to it. हर एक को पता है कि सही क्या है गलत क्या है. Only we choose to do what is wrong. Duryodhan, the bad character of the Mahabharata, Vidur asked him, his uncle asked him, he said, listen, you and Yudhishthir, they both went to the same college. आप दोनों के uncle auntie same थे, आपके teacher same थे, you both had the same education. Then why Yudhishthir keeps doing all the thing right and you keep doing everything wrong? Why? Like, education system, same teacher, same uncle auntie, same families are same. What is the problem? And Duryodhan said, Jana pi dharmam nache me pravritti. I know what is dharma, won't do it. Man nahi mera. I know what is right. Jana pi adharmam nache me nivritti. I know what is wrong, won't leave it. Man nahi. Keno pi deven hridhi sthitena yatha niyuktosmi tatha karomi. It's like somebody is sitting inside and niyukta and actually appointing me to a point where I feel obliged to do whatever is being given from inside. So everyone, har ek ko pata hai, even Ravan knows, the person who has written the Bhashya of 4 Vedas, how could he not know that what is right and what is wrong? Everyone would know. Only thing is that we choose to take the path which seems easier for us to take. And that is the thing, that is what Gurudev said, that if everyone would be able to recall and remember the divine possibility that we are carrying, no other heaven we have to look for, it's right here, right here. यदि अभी जितने लोग हैं आप में से, everyone, if you think the divine possibility, if you are able to reminiscence, if you are able to recall, if you are able to remember the beauty that you are carrying, we are here as human beings, not actually to waste our lives to actually earn one Android phone and 2 stories of house. That's not the end of our possibility. यदि हम लोगों को ये मिल जाए कि हमने जिंदगी भर थक करके पिस करके काम किया, and the only thing that we are able to accomplish out of this endeavor कि हमारा एक घर हो गया and we have got a branded phone, that's not the beauty of it. There is something more than that. The something more than that is to leave a legacy of purification and upliftment of the society. Then I think the real excellence comes. And those of you who are probably not aware of his life, imagine someone actually who lived for solitude for 42 years of his life, and remaining 38 years he wrote 3,400 books, translated all ancient scriptures of India, made them available absolutely free, and based his philosophy only on 2 things: self-purification, social upliftment. How I can make myself a good human being, how I can make society a better place to live. And last 5 years, he dedicated his work only on these things, that everyone should be able to recall the beauty that we have got. So from the enlightened point of view, the human life has been given to accomplish a higher objective, a supreme objective that we all are carrying. It's imprinted here, and we have to find that possibility within. However, when we look around us, the challenges are immense. The life that is around us is actually full of different problems, and I have selected few, although there are multiple challenges, but because time is short, I will come straight to the first one that I think is of greatest and grave importance to us: the environment. The earth, as the scientists say, nowadays of course it's been revised to 13.7 billion years, but earth is 4.6 billion years old. If we take that to 46 years, if we bring that scale to 46 years, then we as human beings have been here for 4 hours. हम लोगों को आए हुए 4 घंटे हुए हैं. And our industrial revolution began only a minute ago. Only 200 years ago, we were given the gauntlet, the responsibility out of this billions years of history, that what we can do different. And what we did different is destroying 50% of world's forest. In that time duration alone, which has taken billions of years, we have done it like literally 200 years. It's gone. If everything would continue exactly on the same pace, 2050, only 13% of the current species would be left. We really have to think what kind of world we are leaving for you guys. This is the question. मैं बताऊं आपको, आप गंगा जी जाओ, it's my duty. Every morning I go there. We used to measure the Ganga by the elephant depth. कि आप गंगा जी को measure करते थे कि कितनी depth है. It was 1.5 elephant when I was growing up. 4 और 6 साल का था. It was used to be that. Now you could practically cross it ankle height. आप उस ankle height में you can go from one end to another. That's the only depth it has got left. The question we really have to ask that are we going to teach the next generation history of गंगा और द ज्योग्राफी ऑफ गंगा. हम उनको ये पढ़ाना चाहते हैं कि गंगा ऐसी दिखा करती हैं और वी वांट टू टीच देम कि गंगा ऐसी दिखा करती थी. एंड इट्स अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन. नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट यू गाइस बिकॉज आई हैव गॉट एब्सोल्यूट फुल रिस्पेक्ट फॉर द इंस्टीट्यूशन दैट इज देयर. डॉक्टर पेडनेकर वाज सेइंग the great amount of social responsibility that this institution is doing. So I'm not talking about you, but I'm talking about those people who are there, and something that is absolutely obvious to us, that we plant the trees, we get the oxygen in return, but they completely ignore this fact. आप जाकर के देखो, लोगों से कहो आपके साथ पेड़ लगाओ आपको ऑक्सीजन मिलेगी. God knows they would do it or not. आप कहो पेड़ लगाओगे वाईफाई का सिग्नल मिलेगा. Probably they will start to do it. The irony of the fact कि जो चीज बिल्कुल obvious है, people are not thinking about it, and the thing that is of least importance has become the greatest importance to us. And this happened in the name of the progress. हम लोग, I am not anti to the progress और development जरूरी है, but the question we really have to ask कि आज से 15 साल पहले are in the name of the progress we are making the life very solitary of the people. ऐसा तो नहीं है कि हम लोगों की लाइफ को बिल्कुल उनके फोन से और बाकी चीजों से हुक करके रख रहे हैं. About 15 years ago, 13 years ago, Professor Sahu Raja ji is here. He would know, like, he has seen the whole life. कि 30 years ago, 40 years ago, there were many things. Like you would go out of your own setting to do many things. Movie देखनी है बाहर जाएगा आदमी, बाकी चीजें करनी है बाहर जाएगा. It's not happening in India, but you go to the London and other places, you would see that practically life has been replaced by the phone. Everything is down there. You have to relationship. It's on the Facebook. आपको बाहर जाने की जरूरत ही नहीं. Everything. Movie आप वहीं पर देख रहे हो, game आप वहाँ पर खेल रहे हो. Everything you are doing practically there. And apart from the fact that it has compromised the relationships, the second thing it has done, that it has making us gravely impatient. हम लोगों का जो धैर्य का level है, that is completely compromised. I was talking to the Director General of DRDO and I said, what's the problem? Like in terms of the border, where is the biggest threat comes? China से आता है कि कहाँ से आता है? He said, none of these places. He said the biggest threat that comes from India comes from the Android phone. उन्होंने कहा आज से करीब 30 years पहले जो soldiers काम कर रहे हैं border पे, you would send them a letter. Nothing would happen. Like आपने चिट्ठी भेजी और घर में आटा दाल नहीं है तो कोई इसको लिख करके नहीं भेजेगा. Nowadays they are getting messages 10 times a day and they are getting very impatient. तुरंत मैसेज आया, आदमी परेशान हो जाता है कि क्या करने की आवश्यकता है. 30 years ago we will send a letter, the reply would come in 3 weeks time. आराम से आदमी वेट करेगा. Nowadays people would send a message, SMS गया है, 2 minutes में जवाब नहीं आया तो maybe the end of the relationship. एकदम आदमी इतना impatient हो गया है कि it may end everything. तो ये जो प्रॉब्लम हो गई है, this actually takes me to a very great philosophical saying by one of the contemporary philosophers. He said people were created to be loved. The relationships were there so that we could love each other. माता पिता हैं, भाई बहन हैं, दोस्त हैं, इसलिए थे कि we can love each other. And things were created to be used. चीजें इसलिए थे कि हम इस्तेमाल कर सकें. ये है to use. कार है यूज करने के लिए, फोन है यूज करने के लिए. द रीजन वर्ल्ड इज इन chaos. दुनिया इसलिए तकलीफ में है बिकॉज थिंग्स आर बीइंग लव्ड एंड पीपल आर बीइंग यूज्ड. वी आर डूइंग द ऑपोजिट. हम रिलेशनशिप को एक्सप्लॉइट करने में लगे, उनको यूज कर रहे हैं और चीजों को प्यार कर रहे हैं. चीजों को आदमी प्यार करने में लगा हुआ है. लैपटॉप के नाम हो गए, गाड़ियों के नाम हो गए. एंड इट्स नॉट अ जोक. लास्ट ईयर दे डिड अ सर्वे इन यूके. लंदन में पूछा लोगों से कि व्हाट इज ऑफ ग्रेटेस्ट इंपॉर्टेंस टू देम. First thing was iPhone, second thing was iPad, third was the car, another. फिर उसके बाद 6th number पे माता पिता का नाम आया. The thing that it is actually literally happening in front of us कि the things which are of probably not that much of importance. हमारे पे हो सकता है 1000 likes हो Facebook पर, but it's not gonna define. Like यदि मैं कभी तकलीफ में हूँ, those likes are not gonna help me. The people they are gonna help me, they may not be there. This is the situation that we have got, and unfortunately, this is the situation again that parents are very concerned. The kind of information being shared, sense download क्या कर रहे हैं और daughters upload क्या करें, that is another thing that people are very concerned. And ironically, we are living in a world where deleting history has become more important than creating history. आप सोच करके देखो कि नील आर्मस्ट्रॉन्ग he went to the moon. He took only 6 photographs. 6 photographs लेकर करके आया. We go to the toilet and we are taking 300 selfies. आदमी उतनी देर में जाता है और बहुत सारी चीजें लेकर के आता है. We probably the only generation, unfortunately, who is documenting ourselves constantly without doing anything. मतलब ऐसा नहीं कि कुछ चीज हम लोग उससे अवेल कर पा रहे हैं, कुछ अकम्प्लिश कर पा रहे हैं. पीपल कम इनसाइड एंड 3 times द स्टेटस इज चेंज्ड. अभी एंटर कर रहा हूँ, बाहर जा रहा हूँ, बैठा हूँ, एंड इट्स जस्ट एक्चुअली चेंजिंग सो मेनी थिंग्स. सो ironically, this is the world that we have got now, and this is the reality that we have got big houses. घर पहले की तुलना में बड़े हैं, आदमी छोटे घरों में रहा करता था, but families are gone. जो पीछे की सिचुएशन है, घर बड़े हो गए आदमी के, but the houses are small. Education पहले की तुलना में we have got better education, more PhDs and everything. Common sense is gone. The education actually that is there, you would laugh, like the 3 years ago, the France, they delivered 2.4 billion worth of rails. They were delivered only to find out that they were not of the right track size. Track size same नहीं था, 2.4 billion worth की trains आ गई. So it's just actually people have got better education. These are the people who are devising the policies. They are Oxford, Cambridge graduates. Just the common sense is not there. Medicine is advanced. Definitely we have got better surgeries, better hospitals and everything. However, health, like stamina, endurance, पहले आदमी आराम से चल लेता था, अभी आदमी अपने बिस्तर से नीचे भी 100 मीटर नहीं चल पाता है पूरी तरह से. This is the situation. On one hand, we have reached to the moon. Neighbors are unknown. आप पूछ करके देखो, people are unaware. Another situation is that there is high income, peace of mind is gone. Knowledge is there, wisdom is gone. The situation, like people are using the intelligence only to have the argument for other things. मैं आपको बताऊं income की बात की. About 6 years ago, I was traveling, and this lady came with the husband, and husband started to cry. Husband ने कहा कि साहब मेरे को बहुत business में loss हो गया. So I asked him कि कितने का loss हुआ, and he said that 1 crore I lost. So I thought it's definitely big amount, बहुत सारा loss हो गया. तो wife बोली कि आप इनकी बात मत सुनना. Actually, he was thinking to have a profit of 25 crore. He only got a profit of 24 crore. तो profit मन में आदमी के जितनी tension है, तो 1 crore का जो loss है, it is there on the paper, but it's not there. And unfortunately, the worst of all, so we have got big houses, smaller families, education is more, common sense is gone, medicine, everything is advanced. But unfortunately, we have got more human beings, population is more, humanity is compromised. I think there are some challenges that we are facing, and this is the life that we have got. We are buying things we don't even need, with the money we don't even have, to impress the people we don't even like. जो की सिचुएशन है, आदमी भगा चला जा रहा है किस चीज को करने के लिए. 2002 my first day in the Charing Cross Hospital, और मेरा जो दोस्त था वो बॉम्बे का ही था. We both came out. हम लोग बाहर निकले. आप में से कभी कोई लंदन जाए तो Hammersmith is the tube station next to the Charing Cross Hospital. It's only 12 minutes walk on the Fulham Palace Road from the tube station to the hospital. It's the first day in the job. Nothing special would happen. Only your ID card would be given and then you would be sent home. So we came out of the tube, the train, and he started to run. So I thought what happened? So I started to run after him कि भाई जेब तो नहीं कट गई उसकी. So I caught him at the Oyster where you actually touch your ticket. So I said, what happened? He said everyone was running, so I started to run. The people that came out of the train, they started to run and he started to run. And that is actually reality of the many people. Like people are running. They are just doing the things like everyone is doing. Course में admission ले लिया क्योंकि दोस्त ने लिया है. ये वाला काम कर लिया क्योंकि माता पिता ने कहा है. वो वाली job ले ली क्योंकि उनने कहा है. Before realizing that what we really want, we are chasing other people's dream. We are borrowing it from the other people before knowing that what is of true worth to us. So one end, like I said, there are 3 segments to it. The first segment is to remember what enlightened beings think of the possibility of human life to make it a meaningful juncture. And when we look around, we find a very compromised society where individuals are lost, families are broken, society is fragmented. And in those situations, what we really need are 2 things: the excellence in the human beings, excellence in the society. And I will take them one by one. Gurudev talked about 4 stairs to the excellence: having the right purpose, a decent attitude for it, living with compassion, and working with the commitment. And I will take them one by one. The first is the purpose. To have the right purpose in the life. And very beautiful saying he gave. He said, without purpose, life is like a pendulum. It's moving a lot, not reaching to a destination. You go to the, bigger places. I don't know about Mumbai, but at least London I can give you for guarantee. People are leaving their houses 5:30 in the morning. They would change 3 tubes to reach to their work. They have left their homes when the children were sleeping. वहाँ पर पहुँचेंगे, जॉब करेंगे, 7 o'clock तक वापस आएंगे. Monday to Friday they are heavily occupied. Even the parents, they would call and they would have no time to talk. बहुत बुरी तरह से व्यस्त हैं. But you ask them the purpose of the life, they would really struggle to answer. उनसे पूछा जाए कि purpose क्या है? Beyond their comprehension to answer. Just because we are busy does not mean we have got a purpose. Purpose comes when does not matter that what we are doing. Why we are doing is important. फांसी पर तो भगत सिंह भी चढ़ते हैं और हत्यारा भी चढ़ता है. Purpose becomes different. Why we are doing things, what is our intention to do it, is the defining factor. That becomes the purpose. And whenever the issue of the purpose comes, we are usually thinking that we are too young to decide a purpose, or we don't have the degree, or we don't have the money to have a purpose in the life. There are examples of the people who had the purpose regardless of having any of them. So you have got this gentleman here, the person, an Australian gentleman known as James Harrison. You can Google his name, and he was given the highest accolade that any Australian civilian can receive, called Victoria Order of Merit. जैसे इंडिया में हम लोग भारत रत्न देते हैं, so he was given the Victoria Order of Merit, and he's a bricklayer. Works जैसे हम लोग मजदूर काम करते हैं, घरों में बनाते हैं, and he had a formal education only up to the age of 4. उसके बाद receive भी नहीं करी education. But he was given this biggest accolade, and why? At the age of 13, when he was coming on a bicycle, he was hit by a lorry. एक लॉरी ने आकर हिट किया, एक्सीडेंट हो गया, खून निकलने लगा, and he was taken to the ICU. It took like 14 people donated blood. Then only his life was saved. तो जब वो बाहर आया, he recuperated and he became better. Then he said that the first thing that I would do, moment I would turn 18, which is the legal limit to donate blood, that I would donate blood. 14 उसके मन में था कि 14 लोगों को मैं डोनेट करूंगा. Came out, 18 years का हुआ, अपना celebration किया birthday का, and he went to the hospital, because if you ever wish to donate, your blood, you have to be tested by the medical people कि कोई illness तो नहीं है. They checked, and what they found was something special. They found कि he had an unusual antibody, and if his blood, after being processed, given to those kids who have got mismatched blood, माता पिता का blood अलग अलग है, rhesus incompatibility है, then their lives could be saved. So from the age of 18 to 73, when this photograph was taken and he was awarded as the man with the golden arm, just imagine how many units he would have donated. He donated 1,000 liters of blood, saving lives of 2 million unborn babies. His blood was sent to 34 different nationalities. आप सोचो, कोई बहुत बड़े पर्पस की आवश्यकता नहीं है. Simple life that we could influence so many people. Simple. बहुत simple सी बात है. You know the place called Hazaribagh. Hazaribagh, Hazar means 1,000, Bagh means garden. And this was actually made by one single farmer who decided that every morning going to the farm, I would plant one mango tree in the morning, one in the evening. And that person single-handedly planted 87,000 trees in his lifetime. 87. रोज जाने आने में सिर्फ इतने में he created the whole Hazaribagh. आप मथुरा में जाओगे, there is a lady, she became a widow at the age of 12. And पिसनहारी का कुआं. And what she used to do कि वो जो अपना चक्की चलाती थी, and every single thing that she could save, she was saving because the people had to go to the different villages to get the water. So whatever she could save in a month, she used to sell it, और उससे उसने जितना पैसा बनाया. So single lady, that lady established 39 wells from Agra to Mathura. एक व्यक्ति के कारण, simple purpose, but how many lives the people could influence. Then this boy is there, 8-year-old boy, about 10 years ago, he won $1,000 in this scavenger hunt. Like, आप जाओ फेयर में खेलने के लिए, आपकी आंखों पे पट्टी डाल करके आप फ्रिस्बी फेंकते हो. Wherever it lands, that belongs to you. So he got $1,000. एक एनवेलप में उसको $1,000 मिले. फादर ने पूछा कि what you would wish to do? You want to go to Disneyland or want a pair of Jordan? None of them I want. What I want कि मेरे साथ में जो पड़ोस में लड़की है, she has got leukemia, she has got the blood cancer, Carla. So he phoned the mother कि I want to donate this $1,000 to you. And she started to cry. She said, I'm not going to take money from an 8-year-old boy. Who's going to take the money from? But when other people heard, this Facebook page was created, other people heard. First day itself, the money was collected for 200 babies. 200 लड़कियों के लिए he managed to collect that much of fund. Simple. 8 साल का लड़का है. He could have the purpose. So दोस्तों, to have the purpose, we do not need something very, very special. Simple thing. All of us, if we leave this auditorium and go with the purpose. I mean, the purpose of this presentation is not to share beautiful slides with you. It's to actually provoke the possibility that all of you carry. If you go and you go empty-handed, then that's not the purpose. The purpose is that you go home with some important, significant message in the life. And this lady, Subhashini Mistry, a vegetable vendor from a very small village in Calcutta called Medinipur, Hasanpukur village, name of the village. So she was 21. She had 4 mouths to feed. उनके 4 बच्चे थे. The youngest one was 3 months old. And her husband contracted an illness. And by the time he could receive a medical attention, he died, unfortunately. So she decided at the age of 21, when she became a widow and she was illiterate, that I would open a hospital in my village. कोई भी सुनता तो हंसता कि how is that possible? सब्जी बेचने वाली महिला है, how could she open a hospital in the village? But for 47 years, she stick to her promise. और जो कुछ divine blessing हुई, उसका जो लड़का था, 3rd number son, Ajay, he became a doctor from the hospital, University of Calcutta से MD करी और फिर वापस he came. The moment he was offered a job, he left everything. He said, I am not going to do it. He went back to the village to serve the cause of the mother. और जो उसके peers और professors थे, they thought that we would find कि what happened. So they went and they went and heard the story of Subhashini Mistry. By that time, 47 years had gone. 47 साल हो गए. And she could save only 22,000 rupees. Only this much amount of money. And when they heard the story of the mother, they started to cry that this woman who hardly had any formal education was saving every single thing. 47 years में अपने लिए साड़ी नहीं खरीदी, बच्चों के लिए कपड़े नहीं खरीदे. She did nothing but to save the money to open a hospital in the village. And 22,000 rupees is not enough at all. उससे तो आप कुछ भी नहीं कर सकते. But when other people heard, everyone started to give something. किसी ने land दी, किसी ने कुछ दिया, किसी ने कुछ दिया. And she opened a hospital called Humanity Hospital from poor for poor. 50-bedded multi-specialty hospital in her village called Humanity Hospital. आज से करीब 4 years ago, Amir Khan Satyamev Jayate, complete episode was dedicated to the lady. So anyone can have a purpose. Simple purpose. First thing is to have a purpose कि what we would like to do and why we would like to do it. क्या उससे किसको हम benefit पहुंचाना चाहते हैं. Second thing is the concept of the utsarg. Utsarg means to live for the society, not for ourselves. We have got the stronger tradition of the people who are living for the society, who decided to choose a life to actually serve the others. And if we could have that, there is a very beautiful saying कि if the purpose of the human beings could be humanity, if we are only living for ourselves, हम लोग आए और सिर्फ अपने issues को sort out करके गए, then we are not better than the animals. कम से कम उसकी skin तो काम आ जाएगी. But our is completely gone for ourselves. And there are some examples of the compassion. This boy, he was born congenitally blind. जन्म से देख नहीं सकता था. And when mother and father, they said कि we have seen enough. Whatever we wanted to see, we have seen. So they both donated 1 live eye each so that the son could have a better future. Imagine. This is compassion. कि उनके मन में लगा कि हमारे बच्चे को future होना चाहिए. They gave it. Another example is of these 2 blind men. They were struggling to open the tap. पीछे की तरफ है. They were struggling to open the tap. And when a monkey was sitting at the tree, he saw they were struggling. He came down to open the tap for them. यदि जानवर के पास हो सकता है, we are better than them. We have got definitely the better possibility to have the purpose to live with the compassion. And the third thing is to have the commitment. Whenever the question of the commitment comes, usually people also have the excuses. उनके पास बहाने भी होते हैं. उनको लगता है कि they were given the possibility, we have got nothing. So purposely selected those examples where people had nothing, but they still were able to leave a legacy that was meant, like, for many people. And this boy, Terry Fox, he did not see like birthday, 21st birthday of his life, at the age of 20 years and 4 months, he developed an osteosarcoma of the lower limb. Bone का cancer हो गया. And if you see, this leg is artificial. That time the prostheses were not so strong, like in a अच्छे तरीके के artificial limb नहीं मिलते थे. So he was only given a steel rod. And the doctors gave him a prognosis of only 5 months. कि 5 महीने में आपकी death हो जाएगी. That's the maximum life you could have. And this boy, anyone in the same position would be feeling depressed or would think कि अब तो life is not worth living. What would I do? He said that I would be gone, but what kind of legacy I would be leaving for the other people? So Terry Fox, he said, I am going to run on one leg. मैं एक leg पर दौड़ूंगा. And if I finish 1 kilometer, then please give the $100 charity to cancer research. Cancer research charity, those of you who have gone to the abroad, you would know there is a big charity called cancer research. So he said, give $100 to that charity. And that boy ran 143 days non-stop. 5,373 kilometers he covered, collecting $200 million for those. उससे उनका कोई वास्ता नहीं था. He would never see them. His life would be gone. He died on the road. But he collected $200 million for those who would be coming after him. That's a legacy. That's what he left for the other people. So live a life of the purpose. Live a life of compassion. Live a life of the commitment. And there is another smaller video clip to share with you for commitment.
celebrate that. Music to give further inspiration to other people.
I think the reason to share that was actually pretty much obvious is to remember them. I mean, there is no one who would not have the bad days in their life. But whenever the bad days we could remember them. The people like Terry Fox, people like Jessica, she's 21-year-old and without arms, she is the only person to receive the honors degree in the Harvard psychology. Only person to be the armless pilot, the first and only armless pilot in the world. And only person to be the black belt in karate by that age. And she's only 21. So, we could all have that. First is to have the purpose. Second is to live a life of compassion. Third is to live with the commitment. And fourth is to have the concept of the collective good. Like Gurudev said, that it is easy to do the destruction. To destroy something, we do not need any specialization. Somebody is going in the street and someone comes and stabs that person. He does not need a degree and diploma from a university. I have got a diploma in stabbing people. Nobody does that. But to repair that wound, person needs to be a qualified doctor. To do good, you really need to have the, a willpower, a together effort to make that happen. And I think that is the message. The message is to live a life of the purpose, to live with compassion, to live with commitment, and also to have a feeling of doing collective good for the society. So I will come, and after that, a life of the enlightened beings that emerge. People like Vivekananda or Aurobindo or Ramana Maharshi, Swami Ramakrishna Paramahansa, Gurudev. I mean, they are chosen from this land, but they could be from anywhere. People from any religion, people from any background, they all, who have reached to the pinnacle of their personality, they actually followed the path of the purpose. So if we all could go with that kind of feeling inside, then we have got a life of excellence. And I will come straight to the very, very last of this presentation. One purpose was to remind you of the possibilities that you carry. And second is to give you a very heartfelt invitation to come to Haridwar, a place where I come from called Shanti Kunj. About 20,000 people can stay there, and it's absolutely free. So there is no monetary expectation. You all are invited, but invited with a deeper belief that whenever you would come, you would return with a goal in the life, with a purpose in the life. So Shanti Kunj Research Institute, we have got limited time, so I'm skipping the whole presentation that could be given to you. And the patron founders of Pandit Shriram Sharma Acharya and Mata Bhagwati Devi Sharma who established it. And this was the reason. He said that these days the fate of the humanity is being rewritten on a new paper with a new ink from a new point of view. We all have got the possibility. And like Einstein said, that this world is not bad only because of the people who are bad, but also because of the people who are good and they don't do anything about it. So only if we know, we take the responsibility for it, then we would be able to make a meaningful difference. And very last, whenever the question comes of changing the people think that why we have to do it. Other people can do it and then we could do it too. So here is an example. I am sure that all of you would know Horatius, the captain of the gate of the army of the Rome, when Clusium's army of 3,000 people marched. He was the few people who were standing, two of his assistants, one of them died. And when he died, he said, why are we here? And then out spake brave Horatius, the captain of the gate, to every man upon this earth, death comes sooner or late. And how can man die better than facing fearful odds for the ashes of his fathers and the temples of his gods? That if we live a life of excellence and die with a cause, then the whole journey of the excellence is completed. So I sincerely hope that all of you would live with a meaningful purpose. The idea was shared with you with a deeper belief that all of us actually carry a very good, divine, beautiful possibility, and I hope that that would be with you. And I end the presentation with that note, and also by sharing a national anthem with you, the national anthem that is actually sung by the people who are deaf and mute, and this national anthem is actually created by them. So I would request all of you to actually kindly stand on your seats for the national anthem in the memory of these remarkable kids. Thank you very much. दोस्तों, देशभक्ति की कोई भाषा नहीं होती और अच्छे संकल्प का कोई दिन नहीं होता. I hope that you all would return with a deeper message and greater purpose in the life. Thank you for so patiently listening to all this presentation. Thank you.
Deeply indebted for this extremely inspiring and beautiful presentation. I'm sure everybody will leave this auditorium completely enthused. There is time only for 3 questions, I believe. So would you like to ask them? Please feel free. Unless your hand goes up, I'm going to ask a question. Come on, students. Do you have any? The first priority is students. Do you have anything to ask? Or are you dumbfounded by the beauty of the presentation? Yes? Sir, my question to you is, the media day and night are bombarding us with negative inputs, and that is how our students end up being so very depressed and negative, whereas you've given us such inspiring images and thoughts for the day. The whole crux of the matter, I believe, is the gap between thought and action. When one watches this, it's very inspiring. The moment one goes out, it's all forgotten. And so I would like you to dwell on this particular aspect of education which you are taking care of in your university in order to fill the gap between thought and action by making them aware of this field of infinite potentiality and energy within themselves.
Thank you, Dr. Anjali. First, to answer the question that you were raising about the gap between thought and action and the role of the media, I think it's an important issue, significant issue. But the same door that takes us away could also bring us back. I think the same media which is being used for all the negativity can also be used for very positive initiatives. I will share a few with you. There are 2 boys. They were given the Tata Enterprise Social Challenge Award last year. What they did is that they started a company called Help Us Green. And they went to all the temples, mosques, churches, every single of them in Kanpur, and asked them that the flowers that they were collecting, which were of absolutely meaningless for them after a day, if they could have them. And what they did, they collected all of it, created a online social media campaign for everyone to donate the flowers to their organization. They were recycling it and using the oil for distributing for free, and then using the remainder of it for the cultivation and processing. Their turnover for the last year was 18 crore rupees. They were given the best startup award by the Prime Minister of India. But the same media they have used. Same media was used by the Shriyans Bhandari, a guy in the Pune. And he asked people, everyone, most of us would have 3, 4, 5 pairs of shoes. But there are many people who are walking barefoot. They have got no pair of shoes. So he asked the people that rather than throwing it away, give it to our shoe collection point. Online campaign that he created. That if everyone could actually deliver it there. And they were using the soles again to create the new pair of shoes. They were distributing it for free. Funded by many people. So simple, process, and they inspired many people. So I think the same media that we use to spread the things that are of no relevance, like I said at that time, that I am not anti to the progress. The question we have to ask that in which direction we are taking it. If we are taking it to the right direction, then this could be the bliss for everyone. But if we are taking it to the wrong direction, then this could be the curse. And to share about an institution, like I said, you definitely should feel that you have got another home in Haridwar. I giving this invitation to you with really heartfelt invitation to all of you. It's a special place that we have created, selecting those kids who are academically worth, but they do not have the means to support their education. So we are focused on the villages of India. We have got 62 course program ranging from yoga and health, which is we are largest in India, to computer science, technology, animation, visual effects, humanities, languages, journalism, mass communication, tourism. all conventional to contemporary courses with a single philosophy that the education is free to them. It's without any tuition fee, but in return, all the education return it by doing a 3 months of social service. So all of them, they go to different centers of the India to return this favor that's been given to them by the society, and then they get their degree and certificate. We were also privileged that out of the 4 convocations we had, 2 of them were chaired by the President of India, Kalam Saab. He came and he liked it so much. He spent, like he was supposed to spend only 1 hour, but he spent half of the day with all our kids talking to them. And then at that point he said that you have created this model here, but how could you replicate the same model at other places? So that time he, along with the Chancellor of the university, who is also a cardiologist, he started an organization called Divine India Youth Association, that how the people who are at different places, who cannot really physically be part of the university, but still could do something meaningful for the society. And that organization, the people actually walking in the blue shirts, is the DIA, Divine India Youth Association. They are from different institutions, including Shraddha, Shuchita, all the people who are here. They are from different institutions. Most of them are scientists, and most of them are like, Jatin here, who is the head of the DIA organization of Mumbai. He is the chief executive in the Larsen and Toubro. So they all are very acclaimed professionals in their own capacity, but they utilize their remaining time to do something meaningful for the society. So that is the another aspect of the institution to all of you. And again, a heartwarming, heartfelt invitation to all of you. Please come to Haridwar.
Else wants to ask? Actually, I am grabbing this chance because I won't get it again. How do you help mainstream education bring about the shift from the self to the other? This is the matter which I wanted you to address. What are the tools you use? Is it pranayam, for example, as one of the tools? Because how does it happen? This inner cleansing, overnight it cannot happen. But where should mainstream institutions like ours start, if you could throw light on that?
Thank you, Dr. Sawa. We have got an interesting foundation course called as the Life Management. And while Life Management, we teach English and Sanskrit communication to all the kids. And I will give an example. Our Faculty of Computer Sciences, he, about 4 years ago, he took part in an international computing conference in Bangalore. At the same time, there was a international yoga competition. So he took part out of interest, got the gold medal. Just to say the comprehensive education, so we're giving English, Sanskrit communication in that. Also teaching disaster management and environmental awareness. We are also teaching self-help, yoga to all the students. So it is mandatory to all. Whatever background they come from, they receive the education exactly in the same manner for their comprehensive development. But I think above all, what makes the difference is the internship. When they are going, I know the grandson of a very elite family of India, they sent their son to us with the belief that he would be changed there. But when he went to the internship and he spent 3 months in a very underprivileged area of India and learned how these people were still keeping the values intact in spite of the fact they did not have much of the finances. He returned and he said, now I know India. The first thing he said to me the moment he walked inside the room, he said, thanks for sending me there. Now I know India. He said, the amount of food that I used to waste, I learned that from the same 3 mouths could we feed. And just the whole perception about the life is changed. And I think that's the beauty that really makes the difference. All these kids, His Holiness Dalai Lama, he liked it so much that he wanted to chair 2 of the successive sessions. So all the students who go for the internship, there is a program called Abhyuday. When they return, they share their experience with the other kids. So it's a very special, like Shuchita was saying rightly earlier, that words actually cannot really give the true weightage to what I am trying to say, but you really have to experience it. So whenever the opportunity comes, please do visit us. And again, a very thanks to all of you for organizing, also to Honorable Principal for sparing his valuable time, because he was supposed to be at another meeting, but he came and devoted the full hour. Also to our Guru, Professor Sahuji, for sparing his valuable time. And lastly, from our end, there is a small gift from Dev Sanskriti Vishwavidyalaya. And this is another one interesting initiative that we have taken. I mean, do not go with the cover. Yes, please.
Maybe after that, after Anjali, I would like to ask one, it's not a question, but see, it has been observed that when we get influenced by positivity, we either hear something good, see something good, and we feel at that time, yes, this is something I will take up and will practice. But many a times that doesn't last for a long time. Consistency नहीं होती है. तो आपको क्या लगता है कि क्या करने की जरूरत है कि so that these things will last for more time. बहुत बार ऐसा होता है कि हम सुनते हैं, इन्फ्लुएंस होते हैं, दूसरों को बताते भी हैं, 2 दिन, 4 दिन, 5 दिन, 1 month maybe, and again we are back to what we are. So what is it you feel that we need to imbibe so that we'll continue under the same influence? Thank you.
Very beautiful question and right question also. I think what really is required, Dr. Sahib, is the patience, persistence and perseverance. I think in the initial days, there is no one who does not go through that hardship. Like I remember our initial days of the university, many times it felt like, we failed the whole thing because how to get the students, how to get the teachers when you are providing everything for free, and how to differentiate what you would do, and there is no precedence to it. So many times it felt to us that we probably not going to last more than a year. But just the deeper trust into what we were doing and also to have the patience, we somehow managed to do it. And like you were saying, that this institution with an 80 years of history, many times the same sort of actually instances might have come in the journey of this institution also. But people like yourself, they all stick to it and believed in delivering what was considered right. And that's how the whole outcome is there. So I think what I would share that really one night or one day is not that's going to make the difference. The whole history is taken in the smaller steps. So the future is actually built in the very, very smaller initiatives, and then somehow something meaningful would emerge. So thank you for that. And we have got this small gift. The university is 100% eco-friendly, Dr. Sahib. So we recycle all the rubbish that comes to our university and turn that into paper. So all the paper is actually recycled in the university. We only use the handmade paper that's made in the university, and all the students, they recycle it. Also the clothes is actually made in the university, so what I am wearing is also made in the university. So it's completely recycled, and it's this humble gift of that.
Now I call upon Himani to, sorry. Oh, that's... Thank you so much.
Well, very briefly, I'll tell you in 3 words what you should be doing. Live to give. Okay? That summarizes perhaps almost all that, sir, you have been trying to tell them and me also. And practice that. And don't just give to live, but live to give. Okay? And find out the reasons. Otherwise, if you start giving, more and more people will just ask for all things that you can do. No. You must study properly. Whom should you give? Not just like that. Okay? But the fact that will keep all of you happy throughout your life is learn to live, to give. Thank you.
Well said, Professor Shauraja. So many inspiring people in Ruia, and you see he got so enthused because what Sir presented, Dr. Pandya, actually was dealing with microeconomics, which is Professor Shauraja's forte as well. Okay, you can make a very small beginning and it will blossom into something so worthwhile and so beautiful. So everything good has to come to an end. I now call upon my colleague, Ms. Himani Chokskar from the Philosophy Department to propose a vote of thanks.
Yes, ma'am, we would just like to felicitate the Professor Ramavtar. So I request the stage team to kindly welcome a great faculty from Dev Sanskriti University, Professor Ramavtar Patidar ji, to please come over the dais. And let me tell you, friends, that he is also from the yoga team. So you know, after this session, whom you got to catch next. Bye. Thank you so much, ma'am, and thank you so much, ma'am. I know every formal function, every program ends with the formal vote of thanks. But what I'm going to do is definitely not formal thanks, because whatever I'll be saying now is coming from within, and I'm sure the same feelings are shared by each one here present in the hall. So first of all, Dr. Pandya, thank you so much for such an enlightening lecture. I'm not saying this just for the sake of it, but I'm sure all my students present here can relate to whatever you have said and will definitely take the positive message from here. Thank you so much, Dr. Pednekar, for gracing the occasion. We are very happy that you could spend time with us. Definitely, thank you so much, Professor Shauraja. Thank you so much. It's so good to have you here in Ruia, as usual. And no program would be successful unless all the students here are here present, as well as they take something from whatever is happening, whatever has been said. So I really thank all of you to having come here, and I'm sure you all will take this message forward, and whatever Dr. Pandya has said in his lecture will not just wither away after you go out of the class, but will stay with you, and you all would implement it, you all would work upon it, and that truly would be the success of this lecture. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Himani. And we are all coming to Haridwar without exception over here. Center for Mindfulness Students, the next program is on the 4th of February. Okay? Chinmay Mission people are coming to enthuse you. Thank you very much. Sir,
Students, before you leave, I'm sure you would like to know how can you catch up with any one of us. You can visit our website, mumbai.awgp.org. AWGP stands for All World Gayatri Parivar. You can come and visit the website whenever you want. We have upcoming events lined up there. And you can also look at the snaps of every event, and you can also register yourself for the next events. Thank you. Thanks.